Welcome to the Gold Series. I am D2. With me is Shrink, and we are currently going to be doing Group G today in this Gold Series Grand Finals. Going to see who else can make it to that round of 16. And we have Immortal, MagicWind, ChinaYLD, and RayAllen in our group. Pretty good group of players here. MagicWind, obviously, the player who got first and then second in the China versus Korea championships there. YLD and RayAllen both being on Tongfu, so there's going to be a team kill later on, and Immortal, the winner of the Gold Series Tianjin. So what do you think about this group of players here, Shrink, in Group G?
I
Sorry,
think
G. I'm getting things confused. Anyway, sorry.
no, man, I think there's a good chance for both Tongfu players to get out, provided they don't play anything like Control Warrior or Zuluck. Uh, Actually, that's the Chinese panelists you want to see, DT.
Why do I want to see those panelists?
Androni and Montage.
Oh, right. I did want to see Androni and Montage together. They are husband and wife, such a cute couple. Anyway, you can see all the groups so far. We have gone through 6 groups. We only have 2 remaining. Today it's going to be Group G. And in that Group G, it's, right, you see on the screen there, it's Immortal, MagicWind, ChinaYLD, and RayAllen. If you're unable to read the names, there they are in English, at least through my own voice. And going to be pretty interesting to see how that goes out. Again, it is Androni on the left and Montage in the center there. Very cute husband and wife. Who is the player on the right? I always forget who this person is.
His children. He is really famous for his mirror play,
Oh,
but
right. I think I cast him once in Celestial Invitation. Anyway, here's the group one more time. It's going to be Immortal versus MagicWind in our first match. It's going to be a team kill between 2 Tongfu players on the bottom there, ChinaYLD versus RayAllen. RayAllen, one of the best players in the Hearthstone team story, actually, was almost got MVP, but unfortunately, it went to the best player on the best team. But he had a very good record in that situation. Looks like we have an interview with Immortal here, and a very handsome young man. I would, if I do say so myself, nice hairstyle right there. So, congratulations to him having won in Tianjin. Let's see if he can keep up that momentum coming into this grand finals. And anything interesting he's saying, Shrink? All right, we'll wait for Shrink to be able to listen to more of the interview before we ask him. I suppose there he is in the studio. There, getting ready to play this match.
well, he
Obviously.
said, I don't have any specific target, but I will try as hard as I can, and I want to go as far as I can as well. So there he is. Actually, it's the first time that we see a hunter class in this tournament.
The first time, the entire time, I actually wasn't paying attention to whether or not people were or were not bringing Hunter, but apparently that's going to be the case. Shrink is on the ball here. And another 7,000 yen first seed in the group, which means that basically his only accomplishment, only quote unquote, it's a pretty important accomplishment having won the Gold Series Tianjin, but for a while we had a lot of first seeds having 10,000 yen as their bounty, but a few times in a row here we've had 7,000 for the 1 seed. As we take a look at MagicWind, he is the streamer nominee, and we'll take a look over here. Has 2,000 yen bounty, and he's going to be playing Druid, Mage, Paladin, and Warlock. As I just go ahead and write that down so they have that for future reference. 25 years old. Again, he won the China versus Korea championship, which was basically I think it was 8 Chinese players and 8 Korean players that went at it, and he was the only Chinese player who went through the first, through the first season. Second season was a bit more stacked with Chinese players who made it to later stages, but he got second there as well. Since then, has had a bunch of round of 8s, China versus EU, number 2. He got the round of 8, and the Gold Series Wuhan, where he lost No Tomorrow, and that began No Tomorrow's run. As we do see, there's a ban on the Warlock for Immortal here from MagicWind, and MagicWind's Druid has been banned out by Immortal. So we'll see how that pans out. That leaves Hunter, Mage, and Paladin for Immortal, and leaves Mage, Paladin, and Warlock for MagicWind. So how do you see this playing out, Drink?
I mean, if we see that Immortal bans the Dread, I mean, it's very likely that will be a freeze mage that we're going to see from Immortal. And We don't really see anything from MagicWind 2, obviously, but we'll see that going to games as well. So that's probably and yeah, it is Freeze Mage versus Mech Mage from MagicWind there.
Right, getting into this game is going to be the Freeze Mage of Immortal versus the Mech Mage, as you say, from MagicWind. Has a Doctor Boom in the deck, not too surprising. Probably going to see something like Antonites later on in the game as well to pair with those Clockwork Gnomes. But yeah, this is a matchup that's pretty favored for the Freeze Mage. If you play Tempo Mage, you can make stuff happen with, Flame Wakers, and those can get very dangerous for the Freeze Mage. They have to kill them right away, but nothing too dangerous. In particular, in the Mech Mage, you just have to not take too much damage.
Yeah, but this is rather fairy star from MagicWind. You have Cogmaster to start with, then not really because there isn't any mic whoppers, so I still would give the upper hand to Immortal there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, there's a decent start here from MagicWind, but you kind of expect that to have a pretty good curve here, but nothing insane like you say with the Mech Warper. It's going to be just the Mad Scientist, no Doomsayer stuff right away. Probably going to save that for a bit later. And MagicWind picks up a Mirror Entity, not what you want to see. Let's see what he goes for here. He could go for the Neutron, just kind of get a guy in the way and start smacking the face. And looks like he's going to go for that. There's no real reason. I mean, there's a reason to play the Snow Chugga. Because obviously, it's a healthy body and, it does work and it's a mech, but it doesn't freeze, or it freezes, but, Jaina obviously doesn't wield weapons, so not going to be too impactful there. So it's just going to be a ping and a kill off on this Neutron here for Immortal. Not going to do anything crazy here. And we have a bit of a decision here for MagicWind once again. He can go for this Shredder, or he can just, play out the Snow Chugga there. As well as ping, but it looks like he's going to go for the Shredder, going to go for 3 extra damage to face. Realizes that this is kind of an all-in battle for MagicWind, right? He needs to just get as much damage as possible and try to just sneak a win here.
Yeah, well, I mean, MagicWind hasn't known yet what that mage is, and now he knows probably this is Street Mage. I mean, it could also be Giant Mage, but it's more likely to be Freeze Mage there. And MagicWind, pretty happy that he didn't play the real entity there. I mean, he's bringing this version of Mag Mage that is especially bad against Doomsayers. So count him lucky there, not going for the YOLO Blast Mage, which is understandable. And
right, that would be. It's not too likely to be able to kill the Doomsayer if he does go for the Blast Mage, so definitely makes sense for that. I'm actually a bit surprised that Immortal didn't actually ping the Shredder last turn. He actually just pinged the face. I mean, obviously, you have to think about things like Blizzard, but now he's deciding to ping it. I don't think the damage to face is very relevant. I feel like as long as you just deprive your opponent of stuff to do, then you're fine. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and ping the Snow Chugga now to prepare for Blizzard next turn. That should be a pretty dead giveaway that there is Blizzard in the hand, but Goblin Blast Mage is still a pretty good card. It still does 4 damage to the face, which is nice. And let's see if he commits, speaking of MagicWind, let's see if he commits to that Cogmaster as well. Yeah, you pretty much know that there's Blizzard come out, and there's enough stuff on the board, so I think he's actually fine with, just ending the turn right here. And we'll see if Immortal does commit to that Blizzard.
Yeah, and this placement of MagicWind is actually better than we normally see from a lot of Chinese players. You put the Shredder in the middle just in case there will be a double of Alpha or Flame Tongue Totem come out. Really good play by MagicWind there. I mean, even though MagicWind is kind of past his time, I think there's a lot of things that other players can learn from him as well. Most mad scientists come in and probably not what you want to see. No, MagicWind, don't do that. Don't do that to me.
Don't put the mad scientist on the wrong side of the shutter after you just complimented him, right? Well, he is a streamer, so there are perks to being a streamer, and that's probably that his viewers probably remind him every single time to put the shredder in the middle there. Unfortunately, he's forgetting to keep the shredder in the middle in this case, and obviously it looks like it's triggering Shrink a bit here. And we do have the Frost Nova Doomsayer on the side of Immortal. Curious to see if he goes for that, or maybe he might go for the ChinaYLD. It would kill off this shredder. So that might be, a minion that will allow MagicWind to take out the Doomsayer potentially. But yeah, we'll see what the decision here is for Immortal. MagicWind still not committing to that Cogmaster, which is pretty interesting to me. And what do you think that looks like he's okay? It is going to be a ping as well as oh, it's going to be actually a ChinaYLD. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Immortal saw MagicWind hesitating to play that card. I mean, we know that it's oh, this is going to be bad. So he might be just play next cards and just get the situation under control, and not really commit too much. That you know that your opponent is saving things up, so really has a bad Immortal there.
Right, just really keeping all of his important cards in hand, things like that Frost Nova, obviously the Doomsayer, just to make sure he has that for future turns. MagicWind not going to play the Mirror Entity, it looks like. A couple reasons for that. Obviously, he's a bit afraid of the second Doomsayer, and also because he has the Mad Scientist on the field. That could be his only way to basically draw the Mirror Entity out of his deck. And once the Doomsayer is gone, it's reasonable to play the Mirror Entity, so you can get whatever your opponent plays out here. And let's see what Immortal decides to do. Looks like she's gonna ping off that Mad Scientist, play the Doomsayer, see if he can't get Doomsayer on his opponent's side. It's going to be actually the counter spell, which means that his play was completely thwarted here, and now it's just an empty Doomsayer that's going to just heal for 7.
Yes, that's true. That's very unfortunate for Immortal, but MagicWind is not the players that would think, well, I'm just going to put two Mirror Entity in my deck, and I'm just going to do the maximum counter druid thing, and actually Immortal is down to 1 health there.
Right, but MagicWind didn't actually pop the block, so this gives Immortal a bit of time to search for some sort of healing. Let's see what he goes for. I imagine he has to go for just basically a card draw. I mean, he could just play out the Mad Scientist as well. Oh, there's the heal bot, which is very important for him. So there we go. Heal bot healing right back up to 9, and he still has that ice block up. Unfortunately, it does put the heal bot on the side of his opponent, but just a 3/3 is not too big of a deal. MagicWind's still looking for some spells to pair with that Antonitis, but can't really get anything done here. Just going to keep hitting the face and keep going all in there. There is an ice barrier in the side of Immortal, so he could play that out and try to get some quote unquote healing that way. And as we see the Blizzard pop into the hand, so a lot of options here for Immortal. Just wants to stay alive. He might be able to put MagicWind on having that Antonitis, but other than that, he seems like he's in the okay spot. He just needs to not die here.
Yeah, definitely. He's not going to die if he plays Blizzard and MagicWind doesn't draw any direct damage or any spell. I mean, it could be some unstable in this deck as well, even though you have already seen Secrets of Mad Scientist. But yeah, I guess you also play the Ice Barrier as well, just in case.
Yeah, that's the thing. What if if you play Blizzard, then you're not allowing any minion to attack in. I wonder if he just kills off the heal bot here and plays Ice Barrier just to heal for 4 essentially. If you allow your opponent to attack into you. It looks like that's going to be the play. I'm just going to play this Acolyte and draw, question mark? Nope, okay.
Oh, this is interesting.
He wasn't able to draw, actually. He looks like he wanted to draw, but he wasn't able to do it in time. Dr. Boom comes on to comes into the hand, excuse me, of MagicWind, which is very good. Doctor Boom, one of the most difficult cards to deal with for that freeze mage. So good here from MagicWind. He's definitely running out of steam, so it definitely makes sense. Gonna go ahead and kill this mad scientist before it draws out yet another secret. I believe we've seen only 2 secrets total so far here from Immortal, so that would prevent him from thinning out his deck. And yeah, probably just to see a Doctor Boom hitting the field right now.
That's definitely true. I mean, Everyone is one of most threatening meaning for the freeze mage, and actually, I think it's a kind of misplay from Immortal there to play the mad scientist and the secret. He's basically killed the card draw for himself there, and the non-attacking is the correct choice, but I think you attack the mad scientist into the acolyte because then your boom bots has a chance to hit the face. Has a larger chance to hit the face. Oh, that's the.
Well, I mean, to be fair, what MagicWind was thinking is that he doesn't want to give his opponent any more card draw without using any mana, right? And you see that Immortal, he wasn't able to really use his Acolyte to draw cards here, unfortunately for him, because he didn't want to die to the boom bots. So it looks like it's going to be actually a Frostbolt onto Antonius. Yeah, I see what you're saying. He might have actually been better off just Frostbolt pinging the face to put a lot of pressure onto Immortal here. And if Immortal didn't have any sort of healing or something like that, then it would be hard to play out this turn. But instead, just going to go for the Antonius onto the field. Let's see what Immortal goes for here. He could just go for a couple fireballs to the face. That would be 12. His opponent can't kill him, and then he goes for another couple of fireballs, which would be 24 total, 25 or 26 if you include the Acolyte. Looks like he's going to go for killing this Boombot. If he hits face for 4, he's actually just dead. And
it's not that yet.
So pretty interesting situation here for Immortal. Can actually just fireball ping the Antonius. He's gonna have to. This is actually really interesting. He's gonna have to. Okay, well he's still dead here if the Boombot his face again. So this is kind of a weird situation here for Immortal. Does he die is the question. No, hits the Acolyte, which is absolutely. It even hits it for 1, which is absolutely insane. As the Gorilla Bot comes in the hand of MagicWind. No mechs left in the field, however. But this game is actually just completely insane.
I think if I were Immortal there, I would have just Sorathan and Fireball to the face.
Right. I mean, you get your opponent down to 22, and your fireballs are very cheap as well, so you get to go 18 damage worth of fireballs. Potentially, you don't really win the game there, though. So I think this is still okay. As long as he can kind of stay alive, I think he's actually okay here since he was able to clear the board. I don't dislike his play too much, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, is that lethal? No, not yet.
For Immortal?
For Immortal, yeah.
No, there's not even close to lethal. I mean, there's plenty of damage, but there's not enough mana to utilize that. Yeah, I mean, the most he can possibly do right now is 16 damage. So yeah, not quite enough right now. Gonna just be this Thorson and a Fireball, and definitely makes sense to just leave this Gorilla Bot in the field. The Gorilla Bot can't attack, right? It just heals up. Oh my god, and that's Fireball off the top, and that's going to be game for MagicWind. He's gonna take game number 1, and Immortal is none too happy.
Definitely not too happy. Actually, that's a very hard punish. I think actually both players should have played more aggressively, and but that's a win for MagicWind there.
Right, I think Immortal, I mean, he was kind of in a sticky situation there. There was no clear way to get 2-turn lethal, because the opponent could just, clear his board and as also pop the block. So it definitely makes sense for Immortal there to, try to clear the board and just survive the, whatever Fireball or Frostbolt top deck. Unfortunately, the fireball did come, so I'm actually not too disappointed by the play of Immortal. I think it seems like it worked out pretty well there. MagicWind had a couple shaky moments, was able to take the game in the end, as we see in an interview from him. I actually met MagicWind at the 2014 BlizzCon. He's a pretty good guy, and we'll see what he has to say here in that fashionable gold series sweatshirt he has on. Got a lot of layers on. Apparently, it's pretty cool in China. But anything interesting that MagicWind is saying here? As we go back to the caster's desk of Montage, Andron, and Chiryu. But
yeah, Magic basically said that the Hearthstone is kind of life changing for him. Like he was very ordinary like before, but it's a lot of money. He was very frank about that, and basically, and he's got a very famous knife as well. So very different after he played Hearthstone.
Yeah, definitely good for him that he's able to, basically make a living out of Hearthstone. Starting with that China versus Korea win that he had, I think it was a couple of years ago now. But yeah, we are going to be going into game 2. 2 decks left for MagicWind, 3 decks left for more. Looks like he's brought Face Hunter to this tournament. We'll see how it plays out against what looks to be a mid-range Paladin from MagicWind.
It indeed looks so with the Swamp Pool though, and I mean you does look forward to a lot of weapon classes in this tournament, so that's reasonable. And sometimes Harrison Jones is just too expensive to use.
Well, we sometimes see both, right? Sometimes you see Harrison Jones and the Swamp
Yes, we
Ooze.
do.
We'll see if that is a tag that MagicWind put in his deck. Most likely going to be the Muster for Battle here. Probably trade off his 1/1, so he doesn't take that damage, and also play around Unleash the Hounds nonsense. There is Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hounds in the hand of Immortal, so that will be pretty good for him in the future, most likely. We'll see how this game plays out, though.
Yeah, I mean, Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hound is pretty against 1/1s, but that Ottoman Protector, always offer.
Basically, the Animal Companion Huffer. Summon a random Huffer for Immortal here. Very good for him. And Huffer is one of the better ones at this point. Even though it's pretty weak, it dies to these 1/1s. It is just able to hit the face. And, if MagicWind wants to get back in this game, he's going to just have to, basically fill the board in that sense. Or if he does that, then there's going to be a Knife Juggler Unleashed coming out. So we'll see what we have in store here for Immortal. Just gonna probably be this mad scientist. Oh, picks up the snake trap, which is not what he wants to see. Looks like he's just gonna fill the board with stuff and hit the face here. And again, if ever MagicWind just commits a lot of stuff to the board, then it's gonna be Knife Juggler Unleashed coming out.
Yeah, but MagicWind's minions on board so far are very high quality ones, and Immortal here might need never lucky, never out on time.
Well, Abusive Sergeant is still pretty good. Let's see where these knives land. Not sure really where he wants these knives to go. Most likely to the Belcher and the face. I don't think he really cares about these minions, even though there is a bit of a race going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have the 3/3 health related to you, which will make it vulnerable to explosive trap. So that's that, and
right, yeah.
Also well,
that's a bit unfortunate. So it looks like he's gonna go for this play, which is he might actually just kill off the 3/1 just to get less stuff on the board as able to trade with him. A couple more knives coming out, and I imagine this last hunt's just gonna go face here. So Juggler kind of just threw knives everywhere, as a Knife Juggler is wont to do. And down to 12 health is MagicWind. No real healing in his hand other than True Silver, which obviously costs a lot of mana and doesn't heal for too much. No, Consecrate or anything like that. So MagicWind in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, a lot of trouble for MagicWind indeed, and he is not sure about what that uh, secret is because he saw both mad scientists coming down. He knows there are two kinds of um,
Well,
secrets there for
not
Immortal, even though we see in the last game, Immortal is kind of liberal with his my scientist, and now he knows it's explosive.
yeah. I mean, two
Uh,
mad scientists isn't necessarily. It doesn't necessarily point out that there's two types of secrets. Um, but it is going to be two types of secrets in this game at least, and that's going to be game over to Immortal. So him bringing Hunter is working out for him.
yeah, definitely. That's the case we've seen so far. And Hum is actually a good class, and nobody realized
Sometimes.
that.
Well, I think No Tomorrow brought Hunter as well, didn't he? But he went out in last place in this group.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so that's going to be tied series, 1-1, Mage and Paladin remaining for Immortal, whereas we have Paladin and Warlock remaining for MagicWind. Obviously, we just saw that it is the mid-range Paladin. So we'll see how this plays out. Obviously, Freeze Mage is pretty good against mid-range Paladin, and we'll just have to see what this Warlock is for MagicWind. And actually, have to see what the Paladin is for Immortal. But who do you like here in this series? Now that we're tied 1-1.
Well, I think the general strategy of Immortal is still better, but I think his inexperience will probably cost him here in one way or another. So I would give the upper hand slightly uh, Immortal, but we haven't seen his paladin yet, so I'm not entirely sure. I mean, if that's secret paladin, and Magic Queen will be in a lot of trouble here.
Right. So we're going to see instead the Freeze Mage going against what looks to be Zoo from MagicWind. Yeah, there's going to be the Zoo. Just had a bit of tech there in the Lothab and the Big Game Hunter. So reasonable start here. Actually has a lot of 1/1s, or excuse me, 1 attack creatures. Maybe there might be a Hobgoblin coming out later. Probably not, but we'll see. It looks like a bit of a Flood Zoo, but there is Void Caller as well. So a bit of an interesting deck here from MagicWind. We'll see how it plays out. Freeze Mage is favored against Zoo, but probably not as favored as it would be against something like Paladin. And the reason is there's tools in the Zoo to help them out. Things like Lothar, which we saw earlier. Things like Mal'Ganis potentially, which makes it difficult in the Freeze Mage as well. And obviously Dr. Boom, which is very difficult to deal with.
Yes, indeed, and but this actually pain. Oh, never mind.
Do you commit the Owl here as MagicWind? The Owl is very valuable against Doomsayer. But if you don't commit the Owl, then this Freeze Mage is going to be drawing a lot of cards. So looks like he's not going to play the Owl. Is MagicWind just going to go ahead and play these guys on the board and basically give Immortal the opportunity to draw a bunch of cards here?
Yes,
Actually,
well,
actually going to just attack into it. I'm not sure if that was really necessary. I feel like the Acolyte would have done that attack as well. So yeah, we see that tomorrow. Just going to go ahead and attack in there. And Moral says, thank you very much. Thank you for the kill on this Void Walker. I wouldn't be able to do without you. Dark Iron Dwarf comes in the hand of Magic. When we're seeing a resurgence of this particular card, people realizing that it's a pretty strong card nowadays.
yeah. I mean, this actually, this deck from Magic Wing actually is very traditional in terms of card choice.
Old
So
fashioned,
I wonder.
right? But yeah, it looks like it's going to be, sorry for cutting you off there, it looks like it's going to be a Cone of Cold, which will heal for 9, so it's pretty good, 4 mana heal for 9. And looks like it's going to be just a tap into that Nerubian Egg. Pick the Doom Guard off the tap, which means that he wasn't able to play the Void Caller after that tap, obviously. And Doomsayer comes in hand right on time. We might just see a Frost Nova Doomsayer, even though it brings back a Nerubian Egg. Because, I mean, it's pretty reasonable, right? Also, you might pick up a Blizzard later. You can also just, keep continuously Frost Nova while you wait for the Flame Strike. But it looks like instead it's just going to be a Frostbolt and a Ping. I guess this makes sense as well. Just clear most of this board. Only 1 damage on the field right now. You can save your Frost Nova for later, and Frost Nova is definitely a card that's very valuable.
Yeah. Think about his placements. I think you place that at the most life.
Well, the thing is, I mean, there's obviously a lot of death rolls on the field right now, which is kind of it's tough to place your minions when you have so many death rolls on the field. And there's a couple things to keep in mind. There's the Direwolf placement, which you want things to hop around and keep it, everything gets plus attack because they die off. And there's the Defender of Argus placement where you want your biggest guys and your most healthy guys to get that buff. So having played already one Direwolf Alpha, MagicWind's probably thinking about that Defender of Argus. But looks like we have a Dark Peddler coming on the field. No direct damage, no Power Overwhelming or Soulfire, which is what he most likely wanted. Instead it's going to be this Clockwork Gnome, which could help in the future. And MagicWind not in the greatest spot here. He's not too close to being able to kill his opponent or at least pop the ice block. And yeah, it looks like Immortal, I mean, for the most part, he's been in control of this game.
Yes, that's probably what we see here. I mean, Clockwork Gnome would probably give a spray power, which might be useful. I mean, the best will be a switch, would kill the Doomsday immediately. But yeah, it's just that Immortal has drawn a lot of cards that could clear the board, and that's not a switch. The MagicWind is kind of basically tapping into very dangerous territory himself here.
Well, he has seen one Frostbolt already, so probably not gonna. He can't really afford to worry about dying, I don't believe. In any case, Immortal did Flame Strike the last turn, did bring out that Doom Guard, which I don't think either player is too sad about in this case, because obviously the Doom Guard coming out is pretty good for MagicWind, and for Immortal he's still pretty high on health, and he was able to bait out essentially that Doom Guard, so going to be working out reasonably well for him. Looks like it's probably going to be a Frost Nova Doomsayer. Going to just draw some cards first. Blizzard, Double Blizzard is actually really good for him. Obviously, because if this Doomsayer fails, then there's backup plan here. So yeah, Doomsayer does hit the field, which means we're likely going to just see an Owl here, and there's a Lotha, which is pretty crazy. Let's see how MagicWind goes about this. See if he commits to attack. Does commit to attack, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty powerful play here from MagicWind, but unfortunately there's a second Frost Nova, then there's Double Blizzard after that, so I don't think it's going to work out in the end, unfortunately.
Yes, indeed. And actually, one of the play that Immortal can do from this point is actually just freeze the board and prevent MagicWind from playing any minions to begin with. Even though that's one of the things that you can play, and MagicWind just continue to tap.
Right, he's continuing to tap. He's continuing to put himself, lower and lower. Going to be a Blood Mage and Blizzard, and probably just attack the face here from Immortal. And now he's being the aggressor. He's just being, just pushing to the face. Not even ping the Nerubian, saying, "Okay, I got you." Just putting so much pressure on his opponent. Mal'Ganis comes in the hand. One of the better cards you can actually get if you are MagicWind. However, if he does play the Mal'Ganis, then the minions on the field are actually able to deal with that. So not the best situation per se.
But, yeah, especially we see that Blind Mage Silo seems in play. So a simple Fireball would deal with that Mal'Ganis without even having to tap. I mean,
even a Blizzard ping deals with it. If you think about it, right? You Blizzard it for 3 damage, and you throw your Blood Mage and your Mad Scientist into it, and you ping. Or you could Blizzard Icelands or something like that. So many ways to deal with Mal'Ganis, and it's not the situation you want to be in as MagicWind here. Looks like 10 cards left for MagicWind and 12 left for Immortal. That's kind of crazy how many cards MagicWind has drawn, but yeah, I mean, this play is just not going to work out for him, unfortunately. Going to be yet another Blizzard to take out most of the stuff on the field. Is there lethal here is the question, though. Looks like 10 damage in the hand of Immortal here. If he does pick up a Frostbolt or a Fireball, that would be game, essentially. So, yeah, just going to play out this Blizzard. Most likely, it's actually going to, yeah, he's going to probably Ice Lance, I believe, to get 2 more damage to face. I think I would like to see the Ice Lance there.
Well, that's not my view of it, but even Immortal doesn't have lethal at this moment. He has already drawn both Ice Blast, so he might just wait and for his burst cards to come and get lethal at a later time. Going to Fireball this Marganis, which is one thing you have to do if you want to kill your opponent.
Well, yeah, okay. Immortal actually immediately Arcane Intellected there. He wasn't really thinking about the consequences for doing so, but now he doesn't have any sort of secret up, right? And he has all of them in his hand, obviously. So, you know, killing all this Mantine just doesn't actually do anything. So there is an outside chance at MagicWind having lethal here. Obviously, we see it's not in the hand. So yeah, I mean, Immortal just playing a bit too quickly there, and he's forced to use the Ice Lance that he could have just used last turn to kill off the Doomguard. And, you know, that it would have killed him last turn, but now he's forced to use it, which is a potential source of damage for him. And right now is, you know, just has to use it to make sure he doesn't die in the game. I mean, basically he's thinking right now, as we see the Dark Peddler come on the field, he's thinking that, you know, I have this game won, I can't die, you know, some stupid way via, you know, double power whelming Doomguard or something, or some nonsense like that. So Immortal basically playing too quickly here, it looks like, and it basically cost him an Ice Lance.
Yeah, Ice Lance is very. Oh, that's one of the power in there. Yeah, that's one of the ways actually to losing in the game, and actually we see there's a chance with Life Juggler that Immortal would lose a game if didn't Ice Lance the Doomsday there. So he did, I think, play too quickly, as you say. Alex Trusted won't do anything under this circumstance. Very unfortunately for him.
Right, and now I mean, it's kind of a sticky situation here. He's already used 2 Blizzards, a Flame Strike, and 2... he's used the Kona Cold as well, and he's used 2 Frost Novas, so no real way to, you know, stop this board. He basically just has to kill his opponent, and he's put himself in this mess, just to be perfectly clear. I mean, this Doomguard could have been dead a while ago, if he had decided to go for that. Does pick up the Pyroblast, Immortal here, so maybe he can start. Yeah, it just looks like he's going to start pushing damage to face, and you know, despite all of the quick play from him, looks like he has this game. There's no Morganis, there's no Lothip, so it looks like he has won the game.
We could still see
a misclick.
Misclick is one thing, and another would be sacrificial packs. But apparently MagicWind knows there isn't anything like that, and that will be game.
Yep. Just make sure you don't misclick here, and there you go. Pyroblast to the face, and Immortal takes a lead in this series 2-1.
Very good for him, but Freeze Mage is generally good against the lineup of MagicWind, and as I say, the general strategy for him is very good. There isn't any Druid, he banned it, and there isn't any Warrior to begin with. So he needs to win with his Paladin, which we haven't seen yet, but there's a good chance that it is Secret Paladin, which would be his choice, I think.
Yeah, there's no real, you know, Paladin that doesn't that you know is disastrous here, right? If it's Secret Paladin, it's good against, you know, Zoo. If it's mid-range Paladin, it's reasonable against Zoo, and obviously pretty reasonable against, you know, in the mirror. Versus, I mean, the same deck against Healer, you know, should have a good chance to win, right? And then Murloc Paladin is pretty good as well against both of these decks. So whatever Immortal has brought, he should be in a pretty good spot here as long as he is able to perform and nothing disastrous happens.
That's definitely true.
All right, we'll see
And
what that deck is coming up here. And looks like it is the
oh,
Morlock Paladin. So we'll see how this plays out. I actually haven't seen Midrange Paladin versus Morlock Paladin. Obviously, Midrange Paladin has fallen off a bit. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I just theory crafting. I imagine Morlock Paladin is a pretty heavy favorite. Because basically the midrange paladin has to kill as quickly as possible. It feels like basically midrange paladin playing against freeze mage in a sense.
yeah, yeah, that's actually how I felt when I played that on ladder. Well, I guess the reason why I didn't expect this because I didn't quite play against. I didn't know it was Mortal Paladin to begin with, but after turn 4 I realized it, and it doesn't still doesn't work. I mean,
Yeah. Well, MagicWind is gonna have to figure this out. In the meantime, Immortal has a bit of a decision here. Could go for the hero power, could go for the kind of a tempo-y outer piece here, but looks like it's gonna go for the hero power, which will just die to either the zombie chow or the muster for battle. Looks like it's not going to be the muster, just going to go ahead and get the biggest guy on the field is MagicWind. And MagicWind knows that no matter what kind of paladin this is, it makes sense to put as much pressure on the board as possible, which he is doing, obviously. And yeah, so just gets that, Shredder on the board. No way to really consecrate this board away. So pretty solid play here from MagicWind. We'll see how Immortal deals with this. I'm looking at that True Silver. But yeah, he started hovering over that Merc. The Merc guy's not really going to do too much. It's only 2-4, so yeah, going to go for the True Silver. Taking a lot of damage is Immortal, but as long as he can, stay alive, he does have a lot of healing in the deck, so that will be able to help him out.
yes, and Blessing Kings was really good for MagicWind, even though he didn't know that auto peacekeeper yet, which Immortal definitely can use in following turns. But MagicWind at this moment is pretty happy until now.
Right. I mean, Blessing of Kings was pretty good for him there. He did get an extra 4 damage. Unfortunately, there was the Elder in the hand. MagicWind, he's seeing his opponent play very slow, so at this point he can kind of deduce that as we see the Black Knight, which is not going to be too helpful in this matchup. Could maybe get a Sludge Belcher, but yeah, MagicWind, it looks like he might be deducing that this could be more like Paladin. Very defensive play here from Immortal, so that could definitely be the case. And I mean, there's a bit of damage on the board from MagicWind, but still, it's probably not enough here. Gonna be the Ooze, followed by the card draw. A bit of an interesting order there. Maybe a bit of nerves here from Immortal, but picks up anything. I feel like he wants to get some, removal, but going to be looks like the Knife Juggler and the Muster for Battle will most likely clear this board. Probably going to need his minions as well. But yeah, just more and more pressure here for MagicWind.
Yes, and very bad lives actually. I mean, it's. I mean, his boy is going to die to the Pyromancer equality anyway, so I guess getting lives into face is actually a kind of blessing in disguise there, as we just see this play from Immortal, probably followed up by hero power. Just you're not afraid dying to Paladin burst, mid-range Paladin burst.
Right, and the only problem with hero powering here though is it just dies to the Light's Justice. Gonna see another Muster for Battle come out. Basically 3 situational cards here for MagicWind. He might want to play the Temple Black Knight at some point, but this turn he doesn't have the mana to do so since he committed to the Muster for Battle plus hero power, so that makes sense. Okay, so MagicWind does finally see the Merc, so he knows for sure 100% that this is more like Paladin now. And just gonna see a True Silver kill off a 1/1 here. Doesn't want any damage to be on the field. Obviously, things like Quartermaster can be a bit of an issue. As we see Minibot picked up for MagicWind, so still running a bit dry here.
Yes, indeed, and that's definitely good news for Immortal. And actually, I like the BGH
Right.
than the
Yeah, there's no
Black
BG
Knight.
targets. There's no BG targets in Murloc Paladin. You were saying about the Black Knight?
Yeah, I mean, Black Knight still can kill some Belcher and probably Tyrion. Some people run the Tyrion in this deck as well, so definitely good for MagicWind there.
At the moment, not doing him too many favors though, and MagicWind looks like he's deciding whether or not he wants to kill this Murkai. Obviously, damage to the face is somewhat relevant. You have to kill your opponent as quickly as possible, and I guess the downside is that this Murkai can run to your BGH, but we'll see what Immortal decides to do. Obviously has that heal bot in hand. Solemn Vigil, pretty nice for him. He needed some card draw to, basically keep him going here. Let's see what he's able to do this turn. I think he can draw. He can use Solemn Vigil for 2 if he wants to, but that would require him tossing away his Murkai. Looks like he is going to toss away his Murkai, interestingly enough. So yeah, going to be a 2 mana Solemn Vigil here. Gonna just play that guy out. And picks up an old Murkai and another Anyfin. So, I mean, those Anyfins are pretty dead though. He's only played 1 Murloc out, and the War Leader plus the Murkai is not going to be enough damage. As you see an Ooze coming in the hand of MagicWind.
Ooze. Yeah, we actually saw that Ooze before, and Magic is still saving his Black Knight, which is reasonable, but I think you can play the temper out.
Right, I think so too. I mean, it's a pretty big body. You need another quality to take it out, most likely, and you have an owl to get through any taunts anyway. So I think you're absolutely right. I think the tempo Black Knight would probably be something that he needs to look for in the future. We have Doomsayer here as well as the War Leader. Looks like Immortal, just kind of trying to be as defensive as possible, keeping that equality in hand if he picks up something like a Consecrate. But yeah, basically this Doomsayer is essentially heal for 7 or get Silence, one of the two. But Consecrate going to hit the field here, and still more pressure being put onto Immortal.
Just that's definitely the case that we are seeing here.
Wait, he's using his face. Interesting. So I guess this makes sense because if he dies, he's going to be really, really dead. So it makes sense for him to just use his face here. No reason to worry about 19 health. Wow, there's the Consecrate. That is absolutely huge pickup. Obviously, he's been waiting the entire game to get that, but still pretty nice for him. I'm gonna just see the Temple Alder as well. Most likely, he's reaching for it.
Yeah, I mean.
He needs something on the board, right?
Yeah, it's kind of time, but you're kind of getting rid of your opponent's 1/3 of their attack value, so that's definitely something to be said. And I think, just use your face. You have to play consistency, or you just go face altogether. Well.
Yeah, I mean, from Immortal's point of view, he's definitely happy that mini-bot didn't go face. It's a lot of damage. Even though it's only 1 damage, it's damage that you can't really afford to take. Consecrate comes in the hand. It looks like that is going to be the play here from Immortal. He's already attacking towards the Loatheb. Equality doesn't really get as much yet. It's going to be the 9 mana Consecrate just to eliminate the damage from this board. And yeah, we're probably gonna have to see this this Black Knight come out. Nope, it has the Keeper of Ultima, so that's just as much damage onto the field. And yeah, Immortal just holding on for dear life. A Lay on Hands would be absolutely amazing here. Picks up a Hammer of Wrath, which will keep him alive and draw a card. I don't imagine you can really go for anything. I guess you could. Because the Murkai will kill 1 minion off this board. Wait, you kill the 3/4, yeah. So yeah, we'll kill 1 minion off this board, and if you kill off both creatures, I think you're just dead. Maybe, we'll see. I mean, basically just defensive measure here by Immortal, and he realizes that if he picks up more Murlocs, then the second Anyfin will be enough to finish off the game here.
Yeah, and this choice from MagicWind is really interesting because, I mean, I understand that you want to save your weapon charges, but you know that you has a lot of weapons in your deck to begin with. So maybe better just
Hmm.
to uh
All right, so the second Anyfin will have 2 war leaders and 2 merc guys, which would be reasonable here, but looks like Immortal is going to go for the safer play. There's no real way to die here, even if there's a True Silver or Blessing of Kings picked up. So yeah, I think he's just going to play most
well,
likely
Blessing
this.
Kings will be lethal.
Oh right, it would be lethal. My mistake. So Blessing of Kings or Bust here, I think for MagicWind. Maybe Tyrion. No, I don't think even Tyrion will help him out here. Well, there's a Tyrion. Speaking of which, so we'll see if it does end up helping out. There's a lot of damage though on the side of Immortal. So yeah, gonna kill off this 1/1, which is really important to not ping off this shield. But what are we gonna see here from Immortal? He basically has to win with this Black Knight hitting face. If you're Immortal, you can't play Power Equality because he just dies, or you just died to the Ashbringer. So is there lethal here? He could attack in his war leader and then get another war leader out of here, but he only has 2 2 merc guys. Is that enough damage? I think it might be enough damage actually. How much damage is this drink? So it's gonna be 3 war leaders, I believe.
3 war leaders, and yeah, I think that was a misplay from MagicWind. He should kill the war leader with the Black Knight, so both the old Mukai will die to Tyrion. So
Well,
there isn't.
if he did so though, there wouldn't be enough damage on the face to be able to win with Ashbringer.
He
Uh,
would, because the Black Knight will survive, and you will have a Ashbringer.
well, I mean no, but if your opponent Pyre qualities, then you
But
wouldn't. Anyway, we'll see how much damage this is. This is exactly enough damage, and the fact that the Murkai lived is actually the amount of damage was perfect because without the Murkai being on the field, the second Murkai would be reduced by 1 damage, and you wouldn't have lethal there. And Immortal is actually going to take this series, and he wins it 3 games to 1.